waiting for several people who are coming, and please let me know if you are here and able to hear me all right. I'm just trying to look for my other, where's my other gloves? So I am here in Vilnius town hall. If you can see behind me, it's gorgeous. How can I see chats? This is absolutely new to me. Right. Can you please say hi? Just so that I know some people are here. Oh, hello, Javier. Hello, Manjeet. Good evening. Thank you so much. Javier, come to Ecuador. Hello, back in Greece. Hello, hello. Tapas, hi. Where is my other glove? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to pack this. Saludos, bendiciones. Hi, Donovan. Hello. So great to hear everyone. You are live now? Yes, I am in. Yes, I'm in Vilnius. Sorry, I've just been filming, so quickly switched to live stream. My brain is still a bit fried. Hello, Mark. She's from the Netherlands. How amazing. Hello from Vilnius, Lithuania. So I thought I'm in Sarasota. That's great. So actually, I'm starting ever so slightly early. Naughty boy, hi Shifa, hello Azemet. Oh, that's my taxi driver that I met in Tashkent, was it? Yes, in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. So I'm just trying to look for my hand gloves because it is ever so slightly cloudy. It's been so great actually, the weather today. I've been having so many, oh, there you are. I've been having so many like sunny temperature. Yeah, I'll show you around a bit. I'll show you around a bit. Please let me know where you're watching from. It would be so cool to see. It's really cold here. Whereabouts? I'm glad you come from the Middle East. Yes, actually my Middle East travel was in September, October, I think. So it was quite some time ago, but obviously with the editing, it takes a bit of time. And you probably are thinking that I was in the Middle East very recently. But yeah, I'll probably, oh, Julia, Malvern, how great. How am I in Vilnius? Yeah, I've been actually traveling in the Baltics for the past 2 weeks. And I've started in Estonia, Tallinn, the capital city, and then made my way to the far east, which is actually the Russian border, and made my way down south to Riga in Latvia and ending up my journey here in Vilnius. So let me try to flip the camera slightly because I think Vilnius is absolutely gorgeous to visit because, as you can see, so over here is actually the town hall. And what's so great about Vilnius Old Town is that it's so spread out and quite massive in comparison to the other two Baltic states. And it has allowed me to be able to walk very freely. And as you can see, that's the Lithuanian coat of arms, if you can see over here. And the sun is just at the perfect temperature right now. The clouds are coming in because it's supposed to be cloudy today, but I've been really lucky with the weather in Lithuania. So over here, I think we have a display of religion and war. I think it has something to do with the Russian and Ukrainian war, obviously, because Baltic states being located so close to these two countries, it affects them, obviously. And so there's a huge support for Ukrainian, definitely. I agree here. Faith as a weapon of war, which is so unfortunate. Please let me know. Have you ever been to the Baltic states, or are you familiar with any of these countries, because obviously many of people I know do not know where the Baltic states are. Sometimes they are mistaking it for the Balkans, which is very different because the Balkans is in the southeast of Europe, and what's in the west, I think anything further east beyond Central Europe is not something that people are interested in visiting, because given its proximity to Russia, and so people are a bit more cautious in doing that. Nicole, yes, I had the pleasure to visit all three capitals of each Baltic states. Very clean, safe, and relaxing. I so agree. It's so incredibly clean and safe, meaning that I don't feel so guarded. You know, I can easily leave my bag and then no one's going to touch it. Doesn't happen in many parts of the Western Europe, unfortunately. Perhaps in Asia, I don't really know. I mean, you can, but you have to still be cautious in some Asian countries. But yeah, it's amazing. So let me try to read some of your comments. Would you actually... Oh, there's my husband there. I have been there once, of course, with me. Don't know that he is watching now. How very sweet. Let me flip the camera again. So over here, there's this like really cute teleport, I think. So what has been happening, because I've been here for the past couple of nights, like this is actually a live camera. Currently they're showing live camera from the States, but previously they were also showing live camera from Ireland, and there were so many people actually passing by, and I think many people are happy to see, you know, each other on this, and didn't really expect the reaction. I think right now is not very much the best time to see that, because no one's there actually. But I think I'm going to take you slightly further away from the town hall. So someone is asking, I don't know you, what's your favorite trip? I'm a tourism-based graphic designer. This has me so interested. My favorite trip. I think I find it hard to answer that kind of question, because it means that I have to be very specific of like countries based. But to me, what makes it interesting is the type of experience I've had, and Mongolia is always on top of my list, because I was able to actually stay and document the moving process of the nomadic people, and it's amazing. That was so different and challenging to film at the same time. What else? I think Serbia was interesting to me, because I was able to ride a motorbike for 2 weeks by myself. That was in 2021, before I got married. Iran, because I think, and Syria, these countries are often get a really bad reputation for what it is. So obviously these are interesting. Going there alone is an act of courage. Yeah, I don't know what else. Like so many, everything that I've tried my best to experience. I try to find human connection, and sometimes I get lucky with that. Many times I probably don't. But yeah, to answer the question, that's so far I can think of. Dimitri, hello Shifa. I guess my first time to see live. I guess so. I rarely do a live stream. I probably should. Sometimes the filming schedule is really tight, so I can't really do that. But I've actually got a few more days here, so I thought, why not? Someone said, hello Shifa, watching from Northeast India. That's so great. Nicole said, I actually discovered your channel from your visit in Belarus some time ago, which is close to Vilnius, which is true. Like many people actually take the bus to cross the border into Minsk, the capital city of Belarus. which I had visited in 2021. Sorry, I just lost track of time. I was afraid to visit due to the political situation. Otherwise, I would love to see Belarus. I think it's fine. To be honest, I think it's the Belarusian are generally chill. Obviously, there's this huge array of political tension that is perceived in the West. But if you're traveling just like a basic tourist, I don't think anything will happen, to be honest with you. Let me flip the camera here because there's this gorgeous church with Art Deco design. Someone said, I love trips that take me out of my comfort zone. Right, Iran is richer than many people understand in the West. Yeah, I so agree with that. One day you may visit my country origin of Bulgaria. Oh, Nicole, I didn't know that you are from Bulgaria. If you like nature and history, this is a unique place as well. Yeah, I bet. I think I'm just slowly making my way to Europe and potentially to the to the Nordics as well. As you can see, that's the church. It's quite stunning with the Art Deco design. I'm just trying to navigate the gimbal over here. But I think Vilnius is really walkable. So I love the fact that I can easily roam around the old town or even the extent to that with just my feet, my 2 feet. Yeah, someone asked, Nicole asked, have I been to Iceland? No, actually, funnily enough, I was actually thinking of going to Iceland because there's this, I think, host that I was thinking of reaching out to, and I thought, oh, that would be so cool to film their lives because it's so far. I think it's in the east of Iceland. But when I checked how much, because it was far out of Reykjavik, when I checked how much it costs to actually go there, I was like, no way. I don't have the budget to do that right now. So potentially it may be in the future because currently, to be honest, I am so much more interested in learning about different way of lives, and I'm hoping, because I don't know if you watched last video, but this would be my last year going full-time on YouTube, and as much as I love doing this, I just don't earn enough from it. So all I want is to remain passionate and curious, and so in order for me to do that, I need to find some other things as well. But also at the same time, I just feel like my life for the past 10 years has been slowly really only about YouTube and full-time travel. Even travel is like 13 years, and I find that I want to expand my life and perspective, not just YouTube and travel. So that's it. Look at that. So this is, let me see, what's this? Peter, looking forward to seeing what will be your discovery in this country. To be honest, oh, Mark signing off again. Unfortunately, going to prepare dinner, goulash for the evening. Have a nice live stream. Thank you so much for coming out. Yeah, unfortunately, I only have 2 weeks. I only have 2 weeks to visit the Baltics, so I feel like visiting the capital cities have been a great introduction, but I don't have a lot of the kind of experience I usually like to do, which is in the remote area of the country. So over here you've got this also gorgeous Baroque style in Vilnius, because I think the difference being Vilnius to Riga, which is in Riga, which is in Latvia, is basically the different types of architecture. Over here you've got Baroque kind of style, whereas in Riga you've got this Art Deco kind of church. Right, I think I need to sit quickly and drink. I find that I'm slightly thirsty. To be honest, I've started my vlog this morning. I thought, right, I need to finish the video before I start my live stream. So I'm just going to put you here and you can see the people passing by. Watching from Nigeria, how amazing. I did too. That's so great, that's so great. Okay, so I'm just going to drink. I would love to hear where in Europe, because to be honest, I'm not that keen to travel that far this year. So I would like to slowly uncover Europe. And to be honest, let me drink. To be honest, I'd love to explore the Nordic furthermore and just Scandinavian countries on top of that, Iceland as well. I just want to see, I hope to make videos that slowly uncover their way of living. Peter goes here and visit the Hill of Crosses. Yeah, definitely, I'm going there actually. I just thought it would be a nice detour to bring you in. So right, that was me drinking. So what was I saying before? Yeah, Lithuania so far. So this is my second time in the country because in fact my Schengen visa was actually granted by the Lithuanian embassy, and it's been great to be able to come back again because the first visit was with my husband in autumn. Daryl, hello, shout out from Texas, that's amazing. I wouldn't have figured out that there are people from Texas watching my video. So what's so great about the old town is like this kind of alleyway that you can walk easily. But I'll just take you to the main street. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, my current Schengen visa was granted by the Lithuanian embassy because that's where I had applied from, and I had spent 2 weeks with my husband the first time I was here, which was in autumn, and it was such a wet timing, unbelievably wet. It was pouring down, and it's so different to the past 2 days that I've had so far because it's been sunny and quite dry, which is amazing to film. Hello, just reading some comments, guys. Hello from Indonesia, from Texas, from Hungary. That is so amazing. Hungary from Texas, Daryl. That's so cute. All right, taking you along. Let me take you to another side of the street. I think this is the Turkish embassy, judging from the flag, as you can see. Oops, over there. So it says, yeah, that's definitely the Turkish embassy. Right, I actually would like to speak about the news I read this morning, waking up to the news about the Iranian supreme leader has been killed. That was such a shocking news. I don't know if you follow international news, but this is huge, guys. This is huge because if you don't know, the Iranian regime with Ayatollah Khomeini has been in position from 1979 because Iran, before turning into an Islamic what's the word, Islamic Republic. It was, sorry, my brain is, so this is the thesis I used to write, right, about Iran and the US cyber military, because I had studied international politics and specifically talk about the arms race and stuff like that. And one of the ways that they fight was through cyber war. But also in doing so, Iran actually had begun their Islamic Revolution in 1979. So that's when Ayatollah Khomeini, the current, no longer current, he's just been killed, supreme leader has started to take place. And then reading the news this morning that he's been killed successfully was really crazy, because Iran is one of those places, because I had spent 3 weeks traveling around the country and I still maintain some like conversations with friends, and it left a deep print on me. So it was like, okay, I need to stop reading the news because I'm in Vilnius and Lithuania. It makes you think about peace, war, in a very, it's just grateful for having the peace here. So speaking of that, reading. George, Iran will not change. They will choose someone else to take its place. I don't know, actually. I have a feeling that they may. There's a huge, it's been like the attempt of trying to topple down the regime has been happening for years. And I think I'm curious as to what's going to happen now that the supreme leader has been killed. Sorry, I'm just trying to read some other comments. Diz, hi Shifa, lovely to see you in Vilnius. Thank you so much. Nicole, thank you for this explanation about Iran. Didn't know you had this educational background. Yeah, absolutely. This is why I'm so interested about countries and geopolitical situation, because to me, countries act as an actor. So individually, it's like playing at chess, right? So you have to think about that, and how do you maintain geopolitical situation it's a topic that I studied, and that was years ago, but traveling this way had definitely helped my interest in that. Daryl, USA wants their oil and Syria has oil with Israel, called the Leviathan project. How about on that project? Oh, interesting. Yeah, obviously the Middle East is so rich when it comes to their oil, and that's why the geopolitical situation in that part of the world is really, really unstable, because for so many years, I think people, like different countries are trying to take over. Julia, I've been following this news, and that news was a great shock. Yeah, I bet. Me too. Me too. Thank you for taking us along. I'm traveling visually through your eyes. First I'm joining live, by the way. Thank you so much for coming out. I love that. I totally get that. It's very upsetting. Let me start walking. To hear that bombs are falling on a country where you have friends. I have musicians there with whom I've met recording. Yeah, actually, my Iranian friend have successfully left the country. And when I say friends, the only one that I've still maintained my contact is actually one friend, and he's been successfully applied for an asylum seeker in the UK. So, and the things that he's gone through is a horror. Yeah, I don't know how he's done it, but anyway, let's switch back to Baltic states, this topic of politics. But it's so fascinating, because to me, upon my observation, the Baltic states were part of Soviet Union, right? There were, what I had learned is that they were, colonized a lot by, some parts by the Danish, Swedes, and then German, and then Russian, and then, back to that again. So I think there's been a lot of historical events where they had tried to be free, but could not. And so if you think that It was only in 1991. Is it 1991, 1992? I just remembered it's around the time that I was born. 1991. The Soviet Union fell. Means that it's only recently, about my age, 33 years, that the people in this part of the world have been free. So when it comes to freedom, maintaining that is, I think, one of their utmost priority. And what I had learned so far is that there's a huge, definitely, support for Ukrainian, and it's very apparent on their buses, lots of Ukrainian flags, and it's just so nice. I'll take you to this quite tiny street, actually. That's also why I had stopped following the news for the last 40-ish years. I get to hear what's happening, filters through somehow, but I don't get my daily dose of upsets and bad vibes. Yeah, I agree. I actually don't really read the news anymore. But the problem with that, YouTube is now also a form of how lots of news channel spreads their breaking news events. And so without even trying, it's on your homepage, unfortunately. Yeah, I am taking you to this like gorgeous street. So we are in the old town part of Vilnius. And that is very lovely to walk around. And over here, I think this is a restaurant, and you have got still Christmas decoration, I feel like. It's just so cute. So that's the Lithuanian flag, if you don't know. To your left over there. Yellow, green, and red. Breakaway bites. How am I? Good to see you again. Thank you. I'm good, thank you. As you can tell, I'm in such good mood. I have figured out how to pace myself when it comes to travel film, and to recognize when I'm really exhausted from this constant move and filming on the go. I not really refrain from rest, definitely sleep and routine. So I've been having such a good pace when it comes to travel filming in the Baltics. I think also these states are pretty small, so it's been great to just navigate my way around it, despite not speaking the language, but I think it's pretty easy to travel around considering. House of Tyrell. Oh, Nicole, how do you advise how to stay sufficiently informed without overflooding your mind with negativity and fear? In terms of news and geopolitics, I think that, that's a good question, but I think that you don't have to read the news every single day. And to me, I don't open BBC webpage every single day. So I remain, try to stay informed, but not consuming too many. That's the thing. Because obviously, even if like currently in the Baltics, when I open my homepage on YouTube, the news is actually all about the Baltics. And I just choose to be more selective on what I consume. Not just the news, even on specific types of information in general. Look at this kind of restaurant. It's so lovely. Speaking of, I find that I find that traveling to Tallinn, Estonia, and then Riga in Latvia, and then suddenly ending up in Vilnius during the weekend. It was sunny. I felt like, oh my God, this is so tropical when it comes to the weather, because it's been so cold in Estonia. When I landed, it was minus 16 degrees. And I was panicking because I was like, how am I going to film and create a travel series based on this? I have no idea. And then I thought, okay, right, just take a breather, because there are people living in this part of the world that has gone through the same thing over and over, and how resilient have they been, right? So I just helped myself to calm a bit by going out and walk. That always usually helps. But yeah, arriving in Vilnius, it's been so great because it feels suddenly like a tropical temperature. Oops, tropical temperature. So over there, it's the, not sure, that's another church as well, I think. But there's been quite a lot of variety of churches in this part of the world. But anyway, what I was saying, because it's sunny, it's been so great to just feel like I'm on holiday because it's been sunny. Even like now, the sun is behind me, and I feel I've got more sun in the past 2 weeks in the Baltics, even though it's winter, but it's dry. And even though there were times when there was some snowstorm, but it's been great because in the UK, the downside to where we live is in the west. So it gets so wet and constantly overcast. Gosh, so downside to things warming up is the ice have been melted, and often there are some ice falling through the ground unexpectedly and hits the tourists, which is unpleasant. So I'm just wandering around randomly here. Anyway, enough of me chatting. Please ask me questions, or what sort of questions should I ask? Let me think. I would like to know if you would be interested in watching videos. Oh, look at that. He's dressed up. What is he dressed up as? That's so cool. If you'd be interested in watching videos from the Scandinavian countries, like the Nordics. Matthew, lovely houses. Yeah, definitely. I think these are not houses. I think these are, I'm sure it's protected by the probably local town. This is what I love about Vilnius. So over there's just some kids playing around, and I just love that. Kids are so safe playing on the street here, and I find that sometimes that's what I think a city is worth consider visiting, because if you think the local find it really safe for their children to play outside, then it's definitely safe for tourists. So Julia asked, what has been your favorite food in Lithuania so far? Good question. I had actually just filmed eating the local like dumplings, like big dumplings filled with pork and beef with sour cream. So it's not the typical dumpling you would see in like China or perhaps Georgia or even like other Slavic countries, but this was so good. I was like, so great. It was such a good closing to the video because I had filmed it and I had included in the video itself with some shots of me taking the honey shots, so their form of alcohol are made out of honey. I said, wow, never tried that. So yeah, but to be honest, I have been eating very regularly in a way that I've gone grocery shopping a lot more, which means that I've been able to eat more fruit. I try to eat more like yogurt just because it's good, and keep it simple, and often pastry when I feel like I want to cheat a little bit. But yeah, that's my answer. I find that sour cream is majority of the diet here, so it's probably not everyone's cup of tea. Sorry, Nicole, Presidential Palace is going further away. Yeah, actually, I'm just going to take you there, but a different route. I think it's just because the main area has been great. But also, I like to get lost in the midst of it all. So what have you guys been doing so far? I feel like 1st of March is hopefully the first start of spring. Road destination, as you're asking for types of content, I would love to see some new Indonesia content. Oh, that's so sweet. Unfortunately, I don't plan to return to Asia, let alone to Indonesia, and make videos about it. So if I were to even meet my parents, it would be somewhere else. Or if I were to go to Indonesia, it's probably, I mean, I've not been there for the past couple of years, 3 actually. No, I've not been there for 3 years. So unfortunately, I'm not planning to go there, sorry. And also, I don't have the curiosity. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I don't have as much as curiosity as I were to go to other parts of the world. Oh my gosh, what is this happening? What is this? I've never seen it. Oh gosh, catching it live, hey? Oh. Wow. Thank you so much, thank you. That's so sweet. I was given a biscuit. So I think that's Hare Krishna. I think it's one of the Hinduism. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is so interesting. I mean, I'm so lucky to catch that live for you. I think it's Vilnius Krishna Conscious Religious Community. Wow, thanks, Nicole. That was the new information for me. Diz, if you're asking where you might want to go, you know my suggestion, Austria, definitely. I'd love to go. There's so many. I think if it were to visit like more popular European countries, because these are expensive, I need to figure out how to make it worthwhile, and yeah, just interesting stories. Let me flip the camera. So over here, you've got this Etno Drava. So I think that's one of restaurants as well that you can eat a great variety of Lithuanian cuisine. So yeah, this is the main street of the old town. Actually, you will see lots and lots of tourists and locals alike. Shani Noor, I live in Bangladesh. Hello to Bangladesh. Road destination, I can understand it is less attractive for you in the same way Europe is less exotic for me. Yeah, you're right. You have a specific reason to not to go to Indonesia and meet your parents elsewhere. My husband said Norway would be great, thank you. So I think the idea is if I were to see my parents again, which last time I saw them was 2 years ago in Kuala Lumpur, and that was during my speaking engagement. And I think I had learned that I don't need to go to Indonesia just to see them. If anything, I would love to bring them more to different countries when they can travel, and then we can sort of experience differently. And actually, my husband and I are saving up a lot. So hopefully we can bring my parents and my brother to visit the UK and see the UK as my home, my lives, because obviously it would be difficult for them to obtain a visa and expensive for us to cover all things basis. So that's the priority. So going to Asia is not a priority for me. I'm probably not something that I have on my book, at least this year onwards. Right, let me continue on walking. So I think this one is some really gorgeous shop in terms of its decoration, and they have remained Christmassy, don't they? So I'm taking you along on this street that practically will take us to the main square in Vilnius. My God, I can't believe I've been talking for 41 minutes. I think that's why I'm a vlogger, guys. My husband said Norway would be great. Yeah, we are going to Norway soon. In fact, actually, it's just about a week turnaround after my visit in the Baltics. Oh, what is he doing? That's cute. But obviously, Norway would be so expensive, so I had to we both have to figure out how can we afford it traveling around the country. And thankfully, we've got friends in Oslo. My husband's childhood friend. I don't know if you can hear me, but yeah, that's so great. Yeah, so we're going to Norway in, what's that now, a couple of weeks from now actually, because I have points with British Airways, and then I was able to exchange those points and paid for, believe it or not, £2 for a return flight from London to Oslo. And that was so great. But the problem with that, because we have to fly from London, it means that we have to buy train ticket from where we live. Let's say 15 minutes out of Manchester to London. And that train ticket, gosh, train ticket in the UK is so expensive, costing us so much more, because that was like £80 return per person, I think. Imagine that, a train ticket is much more expensive than flying. Yeah, it's insane. I hate how things are costing in the UK. Perfect timing to cross the road. So we are actually going to see a closer look of the square. I think to my right, that is something to do with something with the Grand Duchess of Lithuania. Sorry, I'm not very good with that. But over here is the Duke of Gedisimas. Gedisimas? I think that's his name. And what's interesting to me is that the hill on your right is actually also named after him. So I have a feeling that he's probably the founder of Vilnius, or probably Lithuania. Yeah, history is probably not the best forte that I have. Look at that. It's so pretty, and I love, look at that basilica. This gorgeous church. I think that's a church as well. I think I love a square like this because it allows people to meet and hang out. Yeah, Dimitri said train tickets in the UK are so expensive. I agree that sometimes it'd be cheaper to fly to Turkey and back. Absolutely 100% agree. Just going to put you here. I think, unfortunately, due to the privatization of the UK train ticket, it has become unbelievably expensive, and unfortunately you have to book 6 weeks in advance, so you have to know your plan. It's sort of, this is the problem what I think about the UK. Like, people are not too spontaneous because it doesn't allow them to be one. Because obviously it's expensive to be spontaneous. So everything has to be pre-planned, and often it's booked out. But yeah, that's the problem with public transportation there. Such a beautiful square, nice memories. Oh, I don't know, you've been here. Of course you've been here. I mean, if you live in Bulgaria, I'm sure you have. So I wonder, House of Tyrol, is there any ex-Soviet countries you haven't visited? Yeah, lots, actually, to answer that. So Moldova is one of the countries that I would love to visit for so long, but my visa was rejected because they are not part of Schengen, right? So my visa was rejected. I think earlier, was it earlier this year? Was it? No, last year. Gosh, time has flown. Last year. So I thought, I'm not going to try. Okay, Moldova, whatever. So I think that's why I had decided to apply for a Schengen visa via Lithuania. Although, having said that, I can actually use my Schengen visa to visit Moldova now. But I thought, you know what? If they don't want me, they don't want me. Why would I need to spend the amount of energy and time to create Moldova videos trying to promote the country where, like, they refused my visa in the first place? There's no point. So what else? Lots of them, actually. Lots of post-Soviet countries. I mean, I've been to Romania, but I have not made. No, Romania was not part of Soviet Union. It was part of Eastern Bloc, but not Soviet Union. Yeah, I mean, definitely the mother Russia, Ukraine. I had wanted to visit Ukraine after Belarus, to be honest, but I think I already had my visa granted at the time, just before the war, and my passport was expiring in just a few months. This was before I got any residency. Actually, I had a residency in Turkey, in Istanbul, but the embassy of Indonesia refused to extend that passport, and I was so furious. Like, I really don't like their inefficiencies, and during COVID time, so I had to spend much more money just to extend my visa to go back to Indonesia, which was, yeah, limiting. My passport, I'm just so looking forward to renounce it, guys, to be honest. I don't identify myself as an Indonesian. I just use it as a, document. I love my Indonesian parents, but they are definitely one of the reasons why perhaps I still consider myself as one, but theoretically I am not identifying myself as one. Does that even make sense? All right. Nicole, let me try to flip the camera and read some of those comments. He's setting up to be one of these immobile status, maybe hovering one. Who are you talking about? This I probably didn't see that, or cannot understand what you're talking about. So Nicole said, I visited Vilnius as a tourist multiple times, first time in 2022. As each time I return, I notice Lithuania is developing so quickly technologically, and the airport was renovated. Wow, that's so great. I agree. I find that in terms of GDP per capita, Lithuania feels a lot more wealthy in comparison to Estonia and Latvia. And I think given the population that is double to those, cities, it's definitely apparent to see more money flowing around in the city. And even as you can see over here, just like constant building and redevelopment. So yeah, it's amazing. Shirley, is it safe for female solo travelers to travel there? It's beautiful and I hope I can travel there one day. Yeah, it's definitely safe. If anything, it's so much safer in Vilnius and the rest of the Baltics than probably majority of Western Europe, main Western European countries or cities, majority of like even Spain. You have to just be more aware of things, or even the UK, some areas in the UK. When I say safety, it's also subjective, right? I think pickpocket is something that I'd probably be wary of. But apart from that, the Baltic states are great to, perhaps it could be a shock to the system, especially if you've never been to any post-Soviet countries, because obviously they speak their local language, but also Russian as their lingua franca, given that they were parts of the Soviet Union, ex-Soviet country, sorry. But majority, at least Vilnius, to me, like people speak really good English, really, really good English, and they're so engaged. So yeah, Matthew, why don't you try traveling Iceland? Just suggestion. Yeah, actually, it's one of my bucket lists. Look at this, guys. Oh gosh, so pretty during the time that the sun is setting as well. It's so pretty. I'll take you along closer to this. So you see that majestic, like really gorgeous structure. And over here, what I love is this giant pillars. And what's so great about this, not only the sculpture are so detailed, but the ceiling, look at that. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think this is a church. You can definitely enter, but what is this actually? Yeah, it's in local language, so I can't really understand it, unfortunately. But over here you've got this gorgeous look to the intersection. There's that clock tower. Shirley, great to hear that, because I've been solo traveling around Asia and I think it's time to venture out to the west, but I'm scared. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You know, I think it could be a good start, if anything, or if you're so scared of going to the west, start with smaller countries, because often people and less population, meaning it's not so overwhelming. You just have to figure out how to use the map. Start with the big cities, because you see like people are so fashionable as well. I don't know about you, but I feel so underdressed here. So people are fashionable, they are great, and they have good quality of life. So yeah, definitely do not be scared. As long as you've got internet, let's cross the road. As long as you've got internet, I think you are sorted, to be honest. You're sorted. Look how many people. That colorful guy, this, you wondered what it was all about. Oh yeah, right, yeah, sorry. I had lost that. Nicole, I understand about the identity Indonesia thing. from my father's side. I'm part Greek because his father was Greek, my mom and all, and the rest of relatives fully Bulgarian. That's amazing. I love the idea of identity. It's always complex. You can't just say one thing or the other. So it's a multi-layered topic, I think. Gosh, this road I've never been actually. So funny. I've been to Vilnius twice, and this time around it's my second day? Yeah, third, entering third. And I'm actually walking here for the first time with you. How crazy. So yeah, look at this. So you see so many support of Ukraine all around. Yeah, I think, gosh, I'm just trying to read. Shirley, and watching your videos inspires me a lot. Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much. I think, to be honest, sometimes I still feel like I am a bit scared going to certain new destination, continent, let's say like last year. I had some reservations going to North Africa as much as Morocco and Tunisia. And at the end it was great. It was great. Of course I learned a lot. I developed my skill in becoming more resilient and self-sufficient. But apart from that, I think you just have to put yourself out there. There's no any other way of saying it. Yeah, I think I am just going to keep walking to the very end, but it feels like we are going to hit 1 hour soon of me constant walking and talking. And I feel like I need to use the loo. So unfortunately, I may be needing to say goodbye very, very soon. But over here, it's so great because you've got this brew pub and whiskey, craft and draft, whereas that one is a cat cafe. How cute is that? Not sure if it means you can sit and drink with a cat. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is just pedestrian only, which is great because definitely it's something that I really appreciate when I can walk freely, safely, not feeling guarded, and it's a privilege we often take for granted, I think. So yeah. What else? Oh gosh, I just cannot help myself but having to probably say, oh George, will you ever come to Canada? Definitely. I would love to. The problem is, things are so expensive to fly across the continent, and I just have to save first to do, like, if I want to do a full expedition on different countries and brand new continent. But yeah, definitely it's on my list. It's just not a priority, is all I'm saying.